So the inner life is not really manifesting in our everyday outer expressions. And we want that. We want that to happen because that's when we know we will truly be happy and joyful and healthy. So we are going to go through a process, 12 steps. Of course, it doesn't begin and end with 12 steps, but that's 12 steps that I'm going to give. And it's going to be based on the book, The Science of Becoming Oneself. And I will go through that month after month and suggest things for you to do during this month until the next month and see how we can come closer to our true self by next year at this time. Why is it important during Cancer to start this process? Because Cancer, the wisdom of Cancer, is that it is a building process. It is the beginning of a building for this year. So whatever we do during these next 12 months will show us exactly what happens next year at this time. It should not be a surprise because there is a cause and an effect. Whatever we do, we will reap the results. There is no mystery in it. It's not a surprise. It's not magic. It's not a miracle. It is a logical, sequential thing that unfolds. Whatever we do and put in place, that is exactly what we will reap at the end. So we have a 12-month period during which we will take step-by-step process to become our true self. Now, in becoming our true self, what we are doing is gaining greater freedom. Greater freedom. Imagine if you are free from depression. Imagine if you are free from illness. Imagine if you are free from conflicting feelings and ideas and grievings that are happening all around you. Imagine a free life. And that is going to be based on the inner values, your inner values that express themselves in everything that you do. Now, when we say inner, we immediately think, yeah, I'd like to say what I think. Yeah, I'd like to do what I feel like doing, but I can't. Well, that's not the one we're talking about. That is the outer layer of the inner life, if there is such a thing. Okay, it's just the outer layer, and it's the personality life. The life of our habits, of our elementals, our emotions, and our mental patterns. These are things that compel us to want to say something or do something that sociologically and culturally and position-wise we know we shouldn't do. Somehow they sneak out in little sneaky ways. That's not the inner life. So be careful when you think, oh, I do want to say what I feel like saying. That's not necessarily your inner life. The inner life is the life of your soul. It is characterized by 7 energies. These 7 energies are the energies through which everything falls out and expresses in your life through the prism of your personality. So there are 2 things. There are the 7 energies, and I will tell you what they are. You already know them, but I will go over them again. 7 energies. Then there are the lives of our personality. Then we have our educational and cultural process. We have our married life, our group life, our social life. We have everything, what our parents did and didn't do, what our friends did and didn't do, what our past lives happened and didn't happen. So we have this huge walls, multiple thicknesses, through which the 7 energies are trying to penetrate and color our life. Seems impossible, doesn't it? But it is possible. It is possible because we do have wake-up moments, lightning strikes, so to speak, metaphorically speaking, when we see, this is not me, this is me. We know that. And that is the exact moment told in the great teachings and exemplified by the prodigal son story, where the soul turns around and says, I must go back home to my Father. And you're going to see the tremendous will energy, the purpose, the direction, and the distinct willingness to go back to the primeval source. That's what we are going to do. We are going to go back to our source, willfully. Not little here, pink and fuzzy, whatever. We are going to turn around and say, I am going to get up, shake myself off, and go back home. That's the kind of energy and power it's going to take to become your true self. It is a powerful, powerful motivator for us. That will energy that pulls us back, and we match it with our own will. And that will comes when we have almost lost everything. Doesn't it? That's when it comes and it gets activated. So we're going to talk about that. Now, what are the 7 qualities of the inner life, the soul life? They are the qualities of beauty. You do everything to yourself, and for your family and everybody around you, as far as you can go in beauty, however you define that. You are going to use the energy of goodness. You're going to define that for you, for your family, for everyone around you. You are going to use the energy of joy, joyfulness, that faith that, yes, there is another mountain to climb, another rainbow, another sunshine, another day that is going to come up. That is that deep faith. Joy. There is righteousness. You have to be always righteous, not just what I feel like doing. What is righteous for me for long lifetimes? What is righteous for all of the family and friends that I'm involved with? And you're going to use the energy of freedom. This is the keynote of our country celebrating at this time, the 4th of July of freedom. You are going to make yourself free from things that keep you imprisoned behind those walls, and allow the same freedom to other people. You are going to strive continuously and allow other people to strive the way they want to do it. Often I hear people saying, I pushed my wife, my husband, my child in such a direction, and I regret I did that, because that was not their path. That was not the way they grew, not the way they learned. Okay, you are going to allow freedom and striving in a way that is right for that soul. And last but not least, you are continuously going to give up and sacrifice your not self for your real self by asking that question, is this really me? So those are the 5 energies that drive through the prism of our bodies, of our habits, of our acculturation and learned processes, of all their hang-ups and obsessive behaviors. It goes through all of that and tries somehow to express itself in our everyday life. No wonder, then, that our daily expression is not exactly a replica of our inner life. And we know that. And we know that when? When we get sick, we lose a dear one, when we get depressed and life has no meaning, when our marriage and our relationship is failing and not what it should be, when our family life is not what it should be, when our group life and our discipleship is not what it should be, those are the moments that we need to bless. Why? Because they wake us up. We need to bless the very obstacles that knock us like a 2x4 between the eyes and wake us up. That is a wake-up call that tells us something is wrong. Your outer life is not what it should be, kiddo. So you have to wake up at that time. When these things are happening to you and you are suffering, say, wow, a messenger came from my beloved. My solar angel sent me a message saying, how sick do you have to be before you go on a diet? How sore and stiff do you have to be before you exercise? How bad does your marriage have to be before you wake up and do something about it? How bad does it have to get? Isn't it amazing how bad we let it get? I thought about that. How bad do I let things get before I do something? It seems to be we're basically lazy. And that fire of will, of being totally down and out, is what's needed to wake us up and yank us out of our sleepiness and make us turn around and go back to this primal source of our Father, exemplified by the Father. So does it take a lot? Yes. Millions of years to wake us up. But the good thing is, every lifetime, every day, every year, we do wake up a little bit. You see that in your life, don't you? You're a little bit more awake now than you were last year. Of course you are. I'm looking at you, and I know people who have logged in. Everybody has experienced some kind of change, and that is a wonderful thing. Wonderful, because you are here to strive to become your true self, because you know your daily life is not really you, and you want to be you. This is Gita Saradarian, and I would like to thank you for your interest in this video lecture. We have books, booklets, and spiritual study courses on this very topic. Please visit us at tsgfoundation.org for more information on all TSG Foundation products and services. Thank you.